The return of tariffs. Trump's opening salvo. The global trade landscape shifted once more with Donald Trump's return to the White House. His first major act was to impose a 10% tariff on all Chinese goods entering the United States. This move, effective immediately, sent shockwaves through international markets and signaled a return to the aggressive trade policies of his first term. The 10% tariff is just the beginning. Trump has hinted at further increases, potentially reaching as high as 60%. This escalation of the trade war has raised concerns about a full-blown economic conflict between the world's two largest economies. The impact of these tariffs will be felt far and wide. American consumers can expect to see prices rise on a wide range of goods, from electronics to clothing. Businesses will face higher costs for imported materials, potentially leading to job losses and slower economic growth. The tariffs have also injected a significant degree of uncertainty into the global trading system, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. Trump argues that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property. He accuses China of unfair trade practices such as currency manipulation and forced technology transfer. By imposing tariffs, Trump aims to pressure China into making concessions and level the playing field for American businesses. However, critics argue that these tariffs are counterproductive and will ultimately harm the American economy. They point out that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers and businesses. They also argue that tariffs will do little to address the underlying issues in the US-China trade relationship. Instead, they could lead to retaliation from China, further escalating the trade war and damaging the global economy. China has responded to Trump's tariff hikes with a mixture of defiance and pragmatism. Beijing has made it clear that it will not back down in the face of American pressure. Chinese officials have drawn red lines on trade, indicating that they are prepared to retaliate if Trump follows through with his threats of further tariff increases. China's response has been carefully calibrated to inflict maximum pain on the US economy while minimizing the damage to its own. Beijing has targeted its retaliatory tariffs on goods that are produced in states that are politically important to Trump. This strategy is designed to put pressure on Trump to back down from his aggressive trade policies. At the same time, China has been careful not to completely close the door on negotiations. Beijing understands that a full-blown trade war would be harmful to both countries. As a result, China has left the door open for dialogue and a negotiated settlement. However, China's patience is not unlimited. Beijing has made it clear that it will not hesitate to retaliate if Trump continues to escalate the trade war. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether the two sides can find a way to de-escalate the situation, or whether the trade war will spiral out of control. The recent Xi-Biden meeting stands in stark contrast to the escalating trade tensions between the US and China under Trump. Held just weeks before Trump's return to office, the meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and then-President-elect Joe Biden offered a glimmer of hope for improved relations between the two superpowers. Despite disagreements on issues such as Taiwan and technology transfer, the two leaders expressed a willingness to cooperate on areas of common interest, including trade and climate change. Biden emphasized the need for a stable and predictable relationship with China, while Xi called for mutual respect and win-win cooperation. The meeting was widely seen as a positive step towards easing tensions between the two countries. It suggested that both sides were willing to put aside their differences and work together on issues of global importance. The cooperative tone of the Xi-Biden meeting only serves to highlight the abrupt shift in US policy under Trump. Trump's decision to immediately impose tariffs on Chinese goods without any attempt at dialogue or negotiation has cast a shadow over the prospects for US-China relations. It remains to be seen whether the two countries can find a way to bridge their differences and avoid a destructive trade war. Now, let's delve into the far-reaching impacts of these policies. It's important to understand how they ripple through various aspects of society. From the economy to international relations, the consequences are profound. We'll explore these dimensions in detail, shedding light on what has changed and what might lie ahead. Stay with us as we uncover the broader implications. Now let's turn our attention to a new player in the trade war. The landscape is constantly evolving, and new participants are making their presence felt. This development is bound to have significant implications for global trade dynamics. Moving on, we see the rise of BRICS-Plus. This coalition is gaining momentum and reshaping the global landscape. Their growing influence is something that cannot be ignored. It's a clear sign that the balance of power is shifting, and traditional alliances are being re-evaluated. The world stage has never been more unpredictable. With so many variables at play, it's challenging to forecast what comes next. Every decision, every alliance, every conflict has the potential to alter the course of history. We are witnessing a period of profound uncertainty. Finally, let's discuss the uncertain waters of US-China relations. This relationship is fraught with complexities and has far-reaching consequences. Both nations are navigating a delicate balance, with each move being closely watched by the international community. The stakes have never been higher,